So tell them what was it?
From Venezuela, they'll be here. We hope that. And here's Frank.
Mother said we cried, so we've seen this.
And he's dancing with Amber. Her daddy is a preacher.
Rip it off.
He's so spread out. Lunchroom women, didn't they make it? Where's Jeff?
Jeff?
The lunchroom ladies made that cake.
Today is Miss Katie Johnson's, or tomorrow is Miss Katie Johnson's 96th birthday. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Katie. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. I wish this dancing for the stars will be super.
And Miss Katie, because this all benefits the children, this cake was made to you by some of the lunchroom workers at one of the city schools.
That is great. Oh, that is great. That is great.
Miss Katie, tell them how many years you taught here in the school system.
Oh, well, when I reached the 65 mark, in our things that you're supposed to go by in the city school, I was supposed to retire.
When you reached the 65 mark,
Then I reached 65.
when you were 65 years old, you were
And I
supposed to
didn't want to
retire.
retire.
You didn't want to retire.
So I went up to Ginger Two's room and I said, Ginger, could I volunteer in your room? Said, oh Lord, Miss Katie, anytime. Come here, sir. And people like these and different teachers that said, even somebody asked me last week, said, Miss Katie, could you come back to my room and substitute a little bit? And I thought, and if my eyes had not gone bad, I'd have gone up there and asked for another job. So I substituted and volunteered till I was 90 years old. Wow. And kept my certificate.
So you were either a teacher or substituted for 50 years.
50 years.
And this is Miss Ann Holland's mother.
And I was, and my aunt, and several in here, and Lou said, I only give a key to the city to just special people. I want y'all to know I feel kind of a little special.
Miss Katie, who, everybody in this room that had Miss Katie as a teacher, raise your hand.
Oh
And my mother was a teacher.
Just so you could have Miss Katie.
Millard and I, he came in from a one-teacher school when we had a consolidated school in my little town of Micro. Smithfield, Selma, Micro, and that's where my little was. I thought, oh, that's the prettiest little boy I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, you know his bald head, but he had a head full of cream. And he would not look at me. Oh, we were in the 7th grade, and my mother was the teacher. And then I became a teacher. And she was so disappointed that her little Katie went down and taught primary ed. And I thought, well, we didn't have substitute teachers then. Teachers, they were just about ready to be laid out before they ever would stay out of school a day. So they helped come up and get the juniors and seniors to do the substitute teaching, you know, if a teacher was sick. And they'd come and get me, and I could handle it all day long. So I figured that was the thing to do. You know, if you know how to do something, then you feel better about it. But I was right in the right spot because I love young children, I really do. But the other day I keep asking it, what do you remember when you were 7 years old and I was second grade? And I've already told this 2 or 3 times tonight, so you folks bear with me. And I said, and Sharon McCollum said, I remember you had to stand up in a chair. And you said, you got to put a piece of paper, you don't stand in your mama's chair and just put a paper. And then I had a little candle. And every child who had a birthday, and if it was the summer, then we sang for that whole group that was having during summer. She said, Miss King, I can feel your hand patting me to this day when it was my 7th birthday in your classroom. And I thought, oh, how wonderful. Then I asked Dee Peterson, and she said, I remember one day you got up on top of your desk and put your shoes on and said, let's do the bunny hop. Oh Lord, can't let me tell the parents that because I was trying to teach them right foot, left foot, do the bunny hop. And I asked the boys to get in line and put the hands around each girl and these, oh, you think those boys didn't want to do that? I said, hey, everybody knows what a boy is, everybody knows what a girl is. You grab them, let's go. And we did. I said, the rhythm. Ann came Sunday afternoon and carried me to Raleigh for a play. And guess what it was? The Beatles.
Oh, I saw that. Rain.
The Beatles. I've never seen people enjoy anything. And Ann kept saying, my husband would know all the words of those songs. And people were singing them, but I don't remember all the words because mine had to be hymns at church. But then I asked Brooks Morris, I said, Brooks, what do you remember when you were in the 2nd grade? He said, recess. Thank y'all for listening.
Oh, Miss Katie, you're charming. And you know what? We're trying to raise $200,000 now to put smart boards in every K through 8 classroom. All the high school classrooms have them. Terry was asking me tonight, how much do they cost? $5,000 to $6,000 each. Do the math, that's $220,000. But our goal is to raise $200,000. Our expenses are probably going to be about $20,000. So that's going to knock us down to about $180,000. But we feel like if we can just raise $200,000, the schools maybe can help, or somehow the magic will happen, and we will get those 44 classrooms that now don't have smart boards. They're not going to have chalkboards, Miss Katie. Now, I guess they won't. Do they have chalkboards, Debbie, and smart boards? Huh?
No.
They just have the smart board, not
Well, I'll tell you three
It works
little
as a
stories
marker
about
board too.
It works as a chalkboard too.
Let me tell you a cute story. I taught school in Princeton, North Carolina.
Speak a little louder.
And this county had one supervisor, Miss Mary E. Wells. No one from Smithfield. But anyway, she came in there and I was teaching. She said, okay, we had a board across the front, we had boards across the whole side. And she said, let children to go up there. And then let someone help them. And I remember in high school, the math teacher asked me to go help. And then I thought, but long time ago, my mother had this slate and had the little pencil slate. And then we got rid of the blackboard because it wasn't good for children's eyes. And Mr. Kennedy, who was the maintenance man, took all the blackboards off and put green ones there so we could see better. You see the steps we're following? Isn't it wonderful to have smart boards? That is wonderful.
Well, you know, we'll be one of the few systems in the state that has a smart board in every classroom, but I don't think it's fair for your kid to have a smart board and my kid not have a smart board. In fact, Henry Mason said, I'm going to have to dance to get a smart board in my kid's classroom. Can I invite all of y'all to have a seat? Now we're going to turn it over to Debbie Daughtry, and then Susan Bristow, and then Mary Lou Fairclough wants to say something, and then Kim Pham wants to say something. This is a time for us to fellowship, and Terry and Ann, this party was initially planned for you two to get to meet our dancers. Ann said, so if you would come on in and have a seat, and then when we break up, I want you to finish eating all that food and drinking all that wine that we brought.
Jeff, appreciate. We've said it before, but we thank you so very much for participating in this event. We, you know, when this evolved a couple months ago, we did not know how it was going to turn out, but you know, it has just evolved into something just great for our community, fun, as well as a fantastic fundraiser. And you've been reminded so many times of what this, you know, our goal is and what we're trying to do. I would like to bring you just up to date from the school system side, is that, you know, we started this Techno Expo last spring, and we did some fundraising last spring. We had not thought of or heard of Dancing with the Stars at the time, but we were having a fundraiser. We had an event at the Civic Center trying to expose our parents and the public to smart boards and the technology that we wanted in all of our classrooms, and not just in a few classrooms. And so that was fairly successful last spring. And as a result of that initiative, right now we have ordered about half of the classrooms. We have smart boards, and they began this past week installing, and really hopefully by the first of the year we should have maybe most of all those boards installed. And that is going to be, that's K-8. But in those K-8 schools, we're looking at about half the classrooms in each school having the smart technology. So this initiative, well, January 10th, when we are successful, we will have, you know, the funds that we can to put toward, you know, putting all the smart technology in the remaining classrooms. There are, one thing Dianne mentioned, there are if there are any, I think maybe Davie County has maybe a K-12 interactive whiteboard in other classrooms, but it's not everywhere. There can be little pockets here and there with smart technology, but in our system, it is proven successful. We have seen it with our students and with our teachers who have the boards, and our test scores in those classrooms that we're exposing those students to it. And it just, the high school, I think Ms. Span is here, and from the high school, they are just being, they are having a wonderful time there with all their technology in our new high school that they have this year. Today, I was at a textbook caravan, actually on Veterans Day, but where we're doing a new math adoption K-5. And when I met with different vendors today, one of the first things I asked, what do you have that will work with smart technology or with interactive whiteboards? And only one company said, it's in the making, we'll have it in a year. Every other was like, we've got it. We've got it. This is where we know instruction is going, and I just saw some great things that it will just brings instruction alive in the classroom. And we know this is the way our kids today learn. And we know that it's okay that you dance for technology because Miss Katie danced too. You know? So we know that this is okay.
But my dad didn't know it.
Well, everybody has secrets. That's okay. So, but this isn't a secret, and we're going to make it. We just appreciate it so very much. We challenge you. I think my remarks were really supposed to be about the fundraising, and we need the dollars and we need the votes, and that is, you know, you came on board to do this, and we told you up front in August that one thing, August or September, whenever we met with you, in August, that one thing we would ask of you is to go beyond our community, to reach out through emails, through letters, through any way that you could, any avenue to bring those $10 votes into our school system. The email is set up, the PayPal is set up, and also you can...
logo t-shirts, logo hats, put them out on a display in the office, and anyone that votes gets a free hat or t-shirt. That's actually been pretty good. I'll probably end up having to order more hats. And then I sent letters to all the medical staff, to all the vendors that I use in the medical industry that sell orthopedic appliances. I've gotten already checks back from some of the vendors that one lives in Wilmington and 2 live in Raleigh that I received from out of town. I've also sent letters to all the pharmacists and anybody that I interact with on a business standpoint, if they'll send a vote. It's a help. It's a help. And all the patients, of course, love getting the hats and t-shirts. So it works out pretty well. Today, I thought interesting today, I will say that a check came for multiple votes from a Mary Grand resident. So.
That was me, Dr. Huff.
Thanks, Alex. That's been great.
Thanks for sharing that.
Exactly.
Butler Avenue had a fundraiser for some of the teachers that are working in that school and doing things over there. Does anybody else have any ideas they want to share how they're raising monies? Sherry, you told me what you're doing?
I'm sending a letter out with all my Christmas cards to all
That's
my
great.
relatives and friends.
Great. Sherry, you're doing something?
Yep, I'm sending emails out to every editor in the United States. Everyone.
And Philip's doing
And Philip's
that.
doing the same thing for every fire chief.
Okay, and I will mention something about emails, but they say that you have to contact people sometimes 3 times. Send it 3 times. So
Tom will send us 6 graphics that you can use between now and January to put with a personalized email that we will forward to you.
Yeah, if you want to use it, it's just optional if you want to use that. But
Sandra, I know you're doing something? You sending emails out?
Well, I'm working with the Cape Fear Ballroom Dancers Association, and
She told me.
hopefully they're in Cumberland County, but
She said
because
statewide
they're-
you were going to send something to
yeah,
those people.
they're going
So.
for dancing.
And that's work. So there's lots of different people doing different things. Anybody else want to share things or ways that you might be able to do that?
Well, I sent some stuff to the North Carolina Association of Realtors, but you know how the housing market is today.
send it 3 times. 3 times, right? Send it 3 times.
Maybe they can send $10 for each house that wish they sold.
But you can see that a lot of these avenues, it does reach beyond our community because we know that our community does a lot to support our schools. We know that in so many ways, not just technology. So this is an opportunity to reach out and go beyond.
And we know that your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren are going all over the world. They're not just staying in Clinton. And so what you're doing here is going to help people all over the place. And I understand Mary Lou Faircloth wants to speak. Where's Mary Lou? There comes Mary Lou.
I wanted to encourage all of you dancers, if you have not turned in your bios, please do that as soon as possible. I'm in charge of the program booklet, and it's my goal to have it to the printer by the middle of December so that we don't have that hanging over us at Christmas. And they always tell you it's going to take X amount of time to get it prepared, and I want it to look good. So if you have not turned in your bio, please do that as soon as possible. Sherry needs it first, and then I need it for the program. Thank you.
And Terry and Ann also want a copy of it to help them.
As soon as possible.
To help them with the
Didn't know
MC.
there were 24 copies. I thought it was 24 dancers.
Oh, we got a lot of surprises you don't know about yet.
Okay, Susan.
Well, before I start, let me introduce our MCs for some of you who may not know them. Terry and Ann Holland have graciously agreed to MC this event. So we look forward. My speech should be real quick, but I will tell you, I was in the food line, shock, and overheard Lou Starling telling a dancer, I'm not going to give away any names, now that he was a judge, there would be a little favoritism. And I'm here to tell you, the judges have nothing to do with picking the winner. I've told you this before. So Lou, if you're young and beautiful and Lou's propositioning you, He has nothing to do with picking the winner. They are there for decoration and just added wit. Because as I said before, this event can be bought. There are very few competitions in life that can be bought. This is definitely one of them. What? Oh, the judges.
Yes.
You know, we need to get, okay, let me introduce our judges.
Okay,
let me
let's
do
do
that.
that.
Yes. Thank you. Our first judge is Miss Marsha Preston. And she'll be the beauty between the two thorns. Our first thorn is our Mayor Lou Starling. I don't see here tonight is Steve Stavanovich.
He can't come.
He can't come, so yeah. Well, he'll get a deduction in his bag.
His votes won't count as much.
Yeah, his goodie bag will be missing a few things. Basically, all I have to say to you is that there will be a practice Friday prior to the event on Saturday. It'll be sometime Friday evening. I know a lot of you dancers, especially the true dancers, want to get on that stage before then and practice some. So Ray told me that if nothing's booked at the Civic Center it would have to be during the hours of the Civic Center because he's not going to go open it for us, that a couple of dancers can go in and practice some. So just all you have to do is call me and I will set something up if you want to actually get on that stage. Remember, I'm asking your CDs to please be around 1:30. 1 minute, 30 seconds. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot of time, but yeah. But where are two of my favorite dancers, Jeff Shipp and Ann Thornton? 1:30's a long time, isn't it?
90 seconds doesn't sound as long.
Yeah, 90 seconds.
Just say 90 seconds.
But if you're doing a jitterbug full out, yeah, so what I need, because I will be putting everything in order, so what I need as soon as you can get it to me is your dance and your music. I need your music. I can't imagine out of the gazillion songs there are any two people having the same song, but we do have two shaggers I can think of right away, and I think they used to date. Did they not? Our two shaggers separate? They used to date, so that right there ups the chance of them pulling out some same music. So when I say two shaggers, I mean they're each dancing. Yeah, I'm just saying, there may be that song. So just please tell me some of their favorite songs. They're going to really dance. So do y'all have any questions? Anything? Yes. Okay, Henry. Henry. No, you are a separate thing at the conclusion of this. Okay, what?
Do you have a copy of the recital in Brunswick County?
No.
We're still waiting on that.
But here's the thing, and listen, but let me just tell you this. Listen, Henry, you don't need a copy of Brunswick County. And I'll tell you why none of you need a copy. It's because this is going to be so much better than Brunswick County.
We have Susan Bristow directing it.
But they didn't
have that.
No, I don't need a single tip. I will give you a break. Yes.
Is there any time during the competition will the top totals be posted?
No. Here's what's going to happen in the order of the evening. When we get down to the nitty-gritty, towards the end, the top 4 point getters. Now let me go ahead and tell you, nobody except for Clyde Locklear and a few others will even know how much money each person made.
Nobody in this room.
Nobody in this room will know.
None of us
because
committee people.
It's going to hurt Tommy Newton's feelings when he made $45 and Sharon's made $50,000. It'll hurt him bad. So we are not going to do that to anybody. But what we are going to do is the top 4 at the end, at the conclusion. The top 4 will come back out. We'll announce them, and they will dance one more time, just to get that extra money.
Another 90 seconds, Ann.
And then we'll have one winner and one winner only. There was something else. Oh, you will be okay. Through, I don't know who told me, someone said children were not allowed. They thought children were not allowed. No. What we have said from the beginning was that we welcome children to come, but they have to.
It didn't be my script, but the one thing I think in Pitt County, 54% of the seniors graduated on time. Think about that. That's half a generation that we're putting at risk. So everything we can do to help this next generation, we should be doing. And I'm so proud of the people in Clinton and the way you've come together to make this happen, and the vision that you have. What you've already done with the high school is clearly unbelievable. But what you're doing is for this to add the icing on the cake, so to speak, to bring the technology to these kids, that's what's going to keep them involved, that's what's going to get them through, that's what's going to take them to that next level. So thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you for what you're doing for us, Terry.
As you can tell, he always yields to me. No, I must say it's a great honor to have been asked for both of us, because especially my mother, who has put so much time into this system, and all 3 of her girls were teachers, and so we believe in this. I can imagine doing the Latin declensions and conjugations on a smartboard. I would give anything if I could do that, because I had to do it over and over and over again. It would be so nice to have had a smartboard in my classroom. But we appreciate it, and we're excited to be back in Dark Horse Country, and I can't wait. Already started talking about my black dress with my gold on it.
Real gold. That's real gold, Jerry.
Ann can still get in her majorette uniform.
I'm wearing
I think sometimes you're
not
needing it.
I'd vote for that. Who else would give a $10 vote to see the
And I would like to tell you, not only is Terry Holland an athlete, he was valedictorian of his class from Clinton High School when he graduated in what year, Terry?
No.
Salutatorian.
Salutatorian.
He lost by a 1/10 of a point to
Dale?
Joanne Jones.
Oh. To who?
There were 3 in our class.
So thank you for agreeing to do this. I know everybody here, but y'all don't know everybody. I would love to start with, who's me and Debbie and Jeff and Kim Fan, who's helping us out with the video and the photo. Let everybody briefly say who you are and whether you're a dancer or a committee chair and what your real life job is. Just real quickly go around the room.
Start with Marsha.
Marsha, start with you.
Marsha Prestige, I'm a judge, and I don't have a job, I'm just having fun.
Sherry Matthews, I'm a dancer, and I'm the editor and general manager of the Sampson Independent.
Ron Davis, I pastor Colonial Heights Free Will Baptist Church, raise pigs, and do some other things, dress up like Elvis every once in a while.
And he also is the person on the radio at Friday Night Football.
Do
He's
football
the
games,
here on
so I
the
do a lot.
radio.
I'm in charge of technology.
I'm Billy Peterson. I'm a CPA here in Clinton. I'm also a dancer, and I'm dancing with Ann Weeks, so we're having a good time.
I'm Sandra Peterson. I'm his other half, and I am a veteran teacher, 35 years. I teach at Union Elementary, but I believe in the education of all children, no matter how. And I was a professional dancer for 14 years at Roland's Dance Studio. Huff, my doctor and partner, has allowed me to continue dancing with an artificial hip and knee.
All right.
I'm Rick Fowler. I'm a dancer, and I work with Athlon.
Jamie Pope, I'm a dancer, and I work with Murphy Brown.
Good evening, Jeff Ship with Star Telephone. I'm also a dancer, and Miss Ann is my partner. Miss Ann?
I have the cute young thing today.
He's gonna get so sick of hearing me say that, but am I not fortunate to have this wonderful young man to dance with? And I guess you would say I'm self-employed. I don't really have a title.
My name's Erica Jackson. I'm married to Andrew Jackson, and I am on the decorations committee, and I teach art at LC Carr Elementary School.
Did I see you, Helen? That was you.
I'm Mary Lou Faircloth. I'm in charge of the program booklet, and I am a teacher at Clinton High School, presently retired.
But going back January 1st, right, or January?
February 1st.
If something opens up, I will.
I'm sure it's
Absolutely.
He put him on official meeting.
This is my husband.
I'm Wilbur Faircloth. I'm definitely not a dancer. But I would say something about Terry. I was in his class in high school, all through school. He didn't need a smart board. He was smart.
I'm Tommy Newton, and I think I'm a dancer. But I have the pleasure of dancing with Suzanne Darden, and occasionally I'm a family doctor here.
I'm Ken Yang, and I'll be dancing with Lisa Turlington, and I'm a Dr. Newton wannabe.
Wow! There goes more votes.
He's the family practitioner of the year.
That's right.
For
Yeah.
North Carolina. All right. And Ken Yang is also coach of the swim team. I don't see how do you sleep? He does so much.
Soccer.
Soccer.
Let Dr. Newton do all my work for me.
I'm Charles Anna Herring, and I am a committee chair with Erica on the decorations committee. I just graduated in May, and I'm in transition. I'm looking for a job, but I'm working on photography. I'm interested in that. So if anyone needs pictures, you can call me.
Jonathan Williams, I'm born and bred right here in Clinton at Clinton High. I'm a dancer. I'm dancing with Chaney Champion, and everything's going pretty smooth right now. So pretty excited.
And these two are to be married soon.
That's right.
Married or married?
Married.
They are engaged to be married. What's the difference?
That's right.
Don't let him hear that.
And Erica and Andy Jackson, who's in there helping with the bar, they just got married.
I'm Helen Hobson, retired teacher from Clinton City Schools, mother of a dancer, and I'm doing publicity for this event.
I'm David Hobson. I'm a dancer. It's hard to say that without laughing.
Sounds like an
I'm also an attorney, partner with Dale Johnson, former valedictorian.
Salutatory.
I have two little girls, ages 3 and 1, who will be students in Clinton City Schools in the not too distant future. So I have a definite incentive to do this, and I look forward to dancing.
Hi, I'm Debbie Valente, and I'm a dancer, and I shop and
She makes a great pomegranate.
Professional shop.
I'm Ann Holland, and I'm Terry Holland's wife.
And I'm Terry Holland.
And you're Katie Johnson's mom.
And did teach Latin for a long time, as she said. And of course, I've been in coaching and athletic administration now for longer than people would realize. Close to 44 years.
And
We're glad to
currently,
have
you're the athletic director of East Carolina University.
That's correct, when I left today.
Where we're having too many overtime games.
Skip Hopes will be tomorrow.
And you play basketball at Davidson and UVA. No, you were athletic director at UVA.
The coach.
You coached. Were you also athletic director at UVA?
Right.
Yes,
And coach.
and Davidson as well.
And if you'd have made a foul shot against Lumberton in 1959,
If Dale would have cheered louder, maybe.